Hello. You caught me at a sleepy time, so I guess I might as well fill you in on the details. In the morning, when I woke up, I spent 2 hours endlessly scrolling on my phone at the news. What did I learn from the news exactly? Well, apparently there's this animated film from China called NASA 2 that is the highest grossing animated film in a single homeland region, and it's on its track to being the highest grossing animated film of all time, the first to reach $2 billion. I thought that was pretty interesting. And it's a Chinese production too. Crazy. And now we move on to the next part of the day. I made egg on toast and listened to a new podcast from the YouTube channel Area 52. He was discussing this sighting of a UFO that a professional wrestler had, who sounded very French. Much excitement indeed. The interview was 2 hours and 40 minutes long, so that's pretty cool, I guess. And then I got fatigued from endlessly doom scrolling on my phone and watching this podcast while eating breakfast. So I tried to do some meditation, and my results were not very interesting. Next, my mom arrived. Well, I was playing Astrobot. This game is one of the best games I have ever played, and I greatly, deeply, undeniably accept the fact it won the Game Awards 2024. So, my mom wanted to watch politics, but I hadn't taken a shower in like 2 days, so I let her watch politics while I went and took a shower. When I got out, after excessive grooming by combing my hair and spraying deodorant and putting moisturizer on my face, I decided to leave off to See's Candy to get a heart-shaped box of chocolates for my mom, and truffles for our family friend, and a box of assorted chocolates for my sister. For whatever reason, my phone took me to Albertsons. I thought there may be a See's Candy in there, otherwise why would it take me there? But when I walked in the store, there was no See's Candy to be found. Very strange. Though there was one thing I noticed, and that was the dissipation of the red box that used to be at the front of the store. Which, well, it makes sense. Most people stream stuff from the either Tubi or Netflix, but it still is a reminder of time passing on and interests evolving and changing. And I do feel sort of a melancholic feeling for the lack of the red box, because it always greeted me every single time I arrived at that Albertsons. And not being there anymore was just a sign of the times changing and evolving, and me needing to evolve with it. Yes, I almost forgot to mention, I thought I needed to go to work today, but it turns out that I requested to switch my day with a coworker on the 15th of February, not the 14th of February. So I was in the clear today, which was good because I was worried that I wouldn't have my work clothes ready for the job, because all of my work clothes was in the washer and dryer. Because of my doom scrolling and not attending to my duties immediately first thing in the morning, everything that I should have done at the start of the day was pushed back to what was going to be the last minute, which would have been a 2 to 11 shift. I really need to learn to get my time management in order, because right now it is suboptimal. In fact, some would say it's non-existent. So anyways, when I realized Albertsons didn't have See's Candy, I drove all the way to another See's Candy that was nearby. 10-minute drive. When I arrived, I got the chocolates. I spent quite some time looking for them, but I did manage to find some. And then when I brought them to the worker there, well, I asked them because my mom told me that they were giving free samples at the See's Candy. So I asked, hey, I was wondering if I could have some free samples too. And she gave me some free samples for me, but then she gave me another one for my mom. And then she said, what the heck, you can have 3. And then I had 3 free samples of C's candy chocolates. Pretty great, I must admit. Then I was very hungry, and luckily there was a Chick-fil-A nearby. So I called my mom and my sister, because my mom said that my sister was arriving later today. I asked them if they wanted anything from Chick-fil-A. They said, no thank you, but that was very sweet and thoughtful. So I went in and I got a number 2 spicy chicken sandwich with fries and a Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I went into my car and I watched a new Mr. Beat, not Mr. Beast, Mr. Beat video about presidential elections in American history. And it was pretty interesting because it was about the recent presidential election between Kamala Harris and Donald J. Trump. After watching this interesting documentary, boy, I sure noticed that I sure like to look into the news about politics, don't I? Maybe I should reserve that time and attention towards other things. But I suppose it's not a bad thing to be in tune to what's going on in the world, right? Anywho, after finishing my delicious meal and watching this 11-minute video, I drove back home. And when I arrived, I gave the chocolates to my mom. The heart-shaped box, if you will. I said, I love you with all my heart. And I gave her the chocolate. And she was super happy, and we both had a nice hug. Then she was looking for chairs for her office desk in her room, in front of the Apple computer. Because she wanted to make her own content, she wanted a perfect chair that would fit under the desk, that would allow her to do such things. She ended up finding the perfect ones, and we ended up going to pick those up later around 8 o'clock tonight. Of course, before we did that, we were enjoying the chocolates. My mom said she didn't want to eat all of them on her own because she was afraid of getting big and fat. So she decided to split the chocolate load with me, and we ate these chocolates, and they were very good. And finally, our family friend arrived, and my sister arrived. Well, my family friend and my mom and me were eating roast beef. My sister seemed quite out of it, and she admitted she took a hit of a substance she enjoys using, which, not going to lie, saddened me deeply. But that's her choice. I can't do anything about it but allow her to live her life and see where that path takes her. All I can be is be as good of a version of me as I can be, and hope that goodness can be a spark between us. That's all there is to it. She left for a date with a person she was meeting. And then, after all of that, me and my mom drove to pick up the chairs. We picked up the chairs, and before leaving we had a very long and interesting conversation with the man. I don't exactly remember the itty-bitty details, but it had something to do with his job, where he lives, what he's doing, what he plans on doing, and then endless energy. And ocean waves being used to generate energy, because ocean waves are always in movement, which I thought was quite interesting. Finally, me and my mom drove back with the chairs, put them in, but not before spraying Lysol all over them, and sat on them. We looked up how much the chairs were, because we each paid $25 per chair, and it turns out that each chair at Target costs $115, so we saved ourselves quite a lot of money on this product. Very nice. Finally, we split our separate ways, and I started watching YouTube videos in my room. One was about dudes making silly AI cover songs with fictional characters. This one was having Doofenshmirtz, Walt Disney, Yoda, I forget the rest. But they were all rapping together, and it was very funny. Then after that, I gave Wii Sports Resort killer graphics. There are guys talking about his process of making killer graphics for the game Wii Sports Resort. Almost forgot, before I did any of the YouTube watching, I decided to play a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings on my original Wii. People like to give the game a hard time because they believe it is very gimmicky and dumb. And I played it, and I will say that it is a bit silly and pretty gimmicky. But honestly, if you can accept the gimmicks for what they are and just play the game as the developers intended, I believe you'll have a great time.
Good night, my happy little Valentine.
At night, I was recording my update video. Should I not? Oh.
That makes it kind of interesting.
I guess you're right.
You get macaroons. Good night.
What? Well, thanks for watching and listening. I think I'm going to go take my vitamins, brush my teeth, go to bed, maybe listen to some binaural beats to see if I can have an out-of-body experience while sleeping. Thank you all and have a great night. Goodbye.